lights, with the hostess, with the mostess. I am the High Priestess Phoenix, your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. That would be me. I am your messenger god, first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you had to see when I post on my community page, my latest live video, and anything in my shorts. Actually, you didn't see this coming. Actually, you probably did when you realized, somebody probably realized before I did, that today was not the 10th. Really? Yeah. So let me tell you what happened. I went on about my day all day, and then I started to get ready later on in the evening because we were supposed to be there by like 8. And so we got ready, and then we got dropped the baby off, and we got downtown and realized something was wrong. And we looked up, and it took us a minute because we were some serious stoners. And I was like, oh, it's not today, it's tomorrow. And after a lot of shock on her side and a huge laugh on my side, we just went back on about our business. And we went to go pick up the baby. And we got to hang out with them, which was so awesome. And in the scheme of things, I laughed about it. I mean, it was quite shocking at first, but I was kind of, it was absolute perfect. And especially as we pulled in and I just took off my necklaces and I'm here in my jammies with you that quickly, I was like, that was meant to be. Really? Well, first off, I was extremely freaked out and insecure, and it took a lot to get ready for tonight and to actually go and do it. And so I got myself out there and there was nothing to be done. So that is poetic justice for everything that I've ever had to do in my life, realistically, as I went to fight a demon that wasn't there. But by the time I had already done that, I had already fought everything else, which was, I had to be mentally ready to face it because I thought I was facing it tonight. And I already did all of that stuff. So that was really cool. I had an outfit that I was guided to wear that I was not sure about at all. I was really wanting not to wear this outfit that was put together for me by God. I mean, I put it together and I went out there and people went crazy about it. And I was funny because I only went out at her family and a couple of people that we stopped at a couple, stores and stuff, and leaving the building had so much to say. And that was really, gratifying. You know what I mean? Self-assure. It was very assuring of the fact. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna pack this whole thing up and I'm gonna eat this whole circus up and I'm gonna do it again tomorrow and do it even better. And she was like, oh my God. And I was like, bro, you've never had that happen. You've never showed up at a fucking appointment on the wrong day or at the wrong time. It's like, she's like, how did you not know what day it is? It's like, bro, I don't even know what planet I'm on half the time. She started laughing. So here's the really cool part. She introduced me. She keeps wanting me to come up and meet her family, but I'm being hesitant because people don't like me. I just try to avoid it. So I'm like, no, I'll sit in the car. I'll have a cigarette. I'll roll some joints, whatever. Finally, she's like, I'm waiting on the elevator. I was like, all right. She's like, hey, my cousin's into tarot, or my niece or somebody. I was like, yeah. She's like, all right, well, at least I know I can talk to him then. So I go up, right? And they're actually, really great people. And they're beginning to get into spirituality, right? So I met them before we went out. And then as we come back, we decide to hang out with them. And it becomes like, a really cool connection where I'm ministering to a lot of great people. I'm telling them about all this stuff about this weekend. I'm telling them about Diana. I'm telling them about the fucking freak in the red truck. I'm telling them about all these stories and stuff. And I'm telling them what it means to be Christ-like and how that looks like in our lives and this, that, and the other. And so it was a really cool thing because first off, B doesn't know too much about what I do, and she definitely didn't know her family was into such things. So we're sitting there in close proximity, and it's almost like I'm bringing them into a new level of spirituality, and through that, bringing her closer to her family and her into spirituality. And I realized right away that that's what I'm sitting here all dressed up for, and that's what I got here for. And it was really cool because I made a really great connection, and they were really fun to sit with, and I could have spent all night with them. And it was like, dude, this was so worth it. When you go out and you do things and nothing comes from it and you don't see the bigger picture of it, you'll be really frustrated. You'll feel like you put so much effort and energy into something and it didn't work out how you planned it and it was a fucking waste. It was not a waste. By no means was it a waste. It was actually better than I saw, and I still have everything that I intended for it to be done tomorrow. The coolest thing is I did everything today that I needed to do to be ready. So tomorrow I don't have to be anything but ready. Be still and be ready. I had to do all the, last minute, let me get ready and let me fucking wax and shave and fucking let me put on some fucking nails and, let me do all this bullshit. Not to mention all the spiritual shit I had to put together last minute. I had to put this together because realistically, 4 o'clock came around. I was like, I'm going to take a nap now. She's like, are you serious? I was like, I'm old, bro. If not, I'm going to be tired tonight. So I went to sleep. I didn't even get up to like 5:30. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to start getting ready. And then I got ready. And by the time I looked down, I was putting on my necklaces. She's calling and she's ready. And I'm like, wow, that was so much more simpler. I can remember this type of shit used to take like hours to do. I'm like, dude, I am ready to go. And that was it. And it was really simplistic, but it was like though we thought we were going here and that we were just gonna, it was a wasted night. It was absolutely not. It wasn't. And on the way home, her shadows started coming out. And I was like, I wouldn't be true to my nature and what I say I do if I wouldn't have this conversation with you. And what was it? I helped her recognize that we were talking about a subject that angers her a lot. And I was like, you're showing a lot of anger, but I want you to see something. You're angry, but the reason you're showing anger is because you're hurt. It'd be better for you to sit in the car and cry than for you to sit in the car and get mad about it. I was like, I understand that you're mad, but the only reason you're mad is because you're hurt. So I had a chance to catch her on the outside too. And so, with all of that being said, and that's what I told her, if you can change your mind tonight, you're going to change your attraction levels for tomorrow. You're attractive. Know that you're attractive and you're going to be attracting in men. So if you change your mind about certain men and the way you see men, then you're going to attract different types of men. It's kind of where that went. And it was pretty cool too. So I didn't know it was the wrong day, and I have all of that to do again tomorrow, but I don't have anything else to do, and that's pretty cool. I was like, well, since I don't have shit to do, I should probably do my fucking laundry, be a good house bitch or something, right? Really? Yeah. So let's trick the cards for fun's sakes. They said that they were learning tarot, and I was like, that's cool. I teach tarot. I teach people how to, take the journey of ascension one card at a time. I feel like I want to give them something. They were really interested in stones. So naturally, I didn't have my bag. She gave me a new purse. So I didn't carry all my 50 pounds of fucking spirituality that I normally do. Really? Because I was carrying some other spirituality, to be honest. But I always carry my stones, you hear? And I showed him the rose quartz. And as I tell everyone to get a citrine, I told her to get her a black obsidian or a black tourmaline and to get a selenite. That would be one of these. So basic starter kit is a selenite, a black obsidian or a black tourmaline, and a citrine. And of course a rose quartz, because we're always working with our heart. Jesus, the consciousness of Jesus, and that's what I was teaching him. I was like, I don't teach Christianity. I teach people to see things like Christ, to have a mindset like Christ. But I taught him differently. I was like, look, and it was really cool because the nephew came in and he could relate to this conversation. He walked in and he was part of it. I was like, Pac taught thug life. It was a mentality. Kobe taught thug life. Now, they connect with me, and you can see through my words and through my being that they live within me. I teach people the same thing about Christ. I teach them how to connect with the spirit of all things, many ancient spirits, but especially the spirits of the gods. So as we're driving home, I'm having a conversation with her, and she doesn't believe in just one God, and she's like, Jesus is God. And I was like, do you believe that? She's like, I was like, that's where I catch people. Everybody believes that one person, they have to go through one person to get to their God. And I take and I show all of these one people, which were all the gods of God. All the gods of God. And that's what we'll do on Sunday is I'll take out all of these religious books. People go to God through these religious books. And I show you, no matter where you're going to God through, it's all the same message. God be with you. And that's that one religion. So it was really cool. Everything is made for something. And again, they were great people and they made me feel great about my outfit and about what I do and what I'm, how I present myself. And they reminded me that I am the life of the fucking party for sure. She's like, dude, you're so great. I was like, yeah, only when I'm accepted though, but I'm a little over the edge. And people that are sensitive to my words and my stories, when I'm out here calling people mentally ill and shit like that, saying I'm gonna fucking, telling the story in such dramatic ways, it's offensive to people that don't get it. You have to have a raw, dry sense of humor. You have to be real to get me. Otherwise, I'm too real for you and it makes you uncomfortable. Really? And that's why I don't fuck around, because there's a lot of fake ass motherfuckers out there. Be like, everything I say, it fucking offends your fucking being. Like, oh man, tone it down. How about you just walk away? Walk away. Walk away. I feel like I'm gonna bark at you. Realistically, yeah, they don't let me out much. But it's really funny because it's like it's a reminder. It's like I'm really, people love me. It's just, I have to be able to turn it off and, you know what I mean, stay in my own energy and not get too much. And that's where she says, I'd love for you to do a reading. And at that moment, something came to me. I was like, I'm working on doing natal chart readings. Those I could do without sizing you up in a negative manner. Really? We can look at what you're made of, bro, and where your areas of strength and weaknesses are. That's a good way. That's a positive way. I don't want to look at your fucking love life. That shit's garbage. You're just going to make me mad and I'm going to hate them too. No matter what we're talking about, bro. You're always going to paint them out to be an asshole and I'm going to tell you to leave them. Really? And then you're going to be like, no, but they're not that bad. And I'm be like, they're not, but you should still leave them because now you told me that they don't treat you right and I'm on your side. Really? Yeah, I don't want to hear about your job and how it doesn't treat you right because I'm on your side and I'm going to tell you to leave it. Do you understand how this works? I fight for you. I fight for your freedoms. I fight for your happiness. And you right away, you tell me the shit that is oppressing you. And I'm like, nah, fuck that shit. And you don't want to hear that shit. Why? Because nobody told you to go fuck that shit off. All right, where are we at, God? Oh, 10 of Wands. You're feeling oppressed, huh? The oppression. Burdens. What are we burdened by? The weight of the world is on your shoulders. There's this old saying that I try to teach you over here, which is give it to God. I guess it wouldn't be a Friday then without a fucking tower falling on your fucking head. I told them the story. I was like, the difference between me and everybody else is I heard the calling before it happened. I heard God calling me to get rid of these things before he came and took them out of my life. What's he done? Is he taking away your job, your loved ones, your friends, your clothes? Did he take away your car? I saw that today. That happened in Colorado. Remember when I told you it happened in Oklahoma? That one gas station had the wrong gas and fucked up a whole bunch of cars in that town and they were all fucked off? Ask me how many gas stations in Colorado this happened to. It happened over a 24-hour period in Colorado. The gas deliverers were delivering the wrong gas to a bunch of gas stations. They delivered diesel gas. Imagine all these people did was go and gas up their car and they went to drive off and now they're shit out of a car. Who knows where they were when their car went out and what it'll take to get a new car. I don't know if they could flush the system. I don't know how it works, but now it's a problem in the government. They have to call some fucking agent to get them to take this taken care of, but they don't know this. Unless they know this, they don't know it was the gasoline. How many cars were affected? How many people's lives were affected? God just a simple mistake. It wasn't simple. Did he take away your car? Did you find out that your boyfriend that you always thought was cheating, you finally caught him? Did you get denied a promotion because you're always denied and they always pick their favorites and they never fucking, it's always the rat pack that they pick from? Are you fighting with your neighbors and the police were called? Because they always do. Because it's fucking Friday night. How long are you going to put up with this? You can either get away from it or it'll keep getting worse and worse. God makes it uncomfortable for you to stay where you are in the life that you have. And eventually he'll just take it away from you. If you don't have the strength, then he'll make you strong enough. Hey guys, I see you in the comments. Save them to the end. I will read them. I always do. So this card talks about being oppressed and being burdened and being worried. You're worried about the things of this world. Fair enough. This shit is on fucking fire. Are you part of the Minneapolis move? Are you gonna go fight fucking? Are you gonna go take down a federal government fucking agency called ICE that's coming here to enforce our fucking our 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 country's fucking rules on immigration? I don't think you're gonna win that fight. As I said in my video yesterday that got cut off. Perhaps that's not the fight for you. I know you want to fight for rights, but make sure you're fighting for people that have the rights to fight for. And ultimately, I think that's a dumb one. The reason that this very insensitive group was made is to hunt people that are in our country illegally. They've chosen a specific breed of people, but there's plenty that they could be hunting. In any country across the world, they have very strong immigration rules that don't let people into their country without, legal and proper documentation. For the first time ever, America is doing something about it in a very, very inhumane, aggressive way. But it's based on legalities, and unless we're going to go and rewrite legislation, and if we're doing that, there's a lot of other things we need to rewrite as we rewrite history. But I just want to point that out. I don't think you're going to win that battle, and you might lose your life like that woman. And I don't want to fight for that woman or hear about it anymore. Really? As easily as they're hunting down the Venezuelans, they can easily be hunting down, you know what I mean, the Puerto Ricans to the Boricuas to fucking Jamaicans to all of you. We're not any of us from this country unless we were born here. So let's stop playing these games and move on. You could have been one of those people that lost your life. What is it that you're burdened by in this world? Do you not realize we're in the trials and tribulation days? Do you think it'll get better? He's going to make America great again? Who is? Do you know that was the slogan for Hitler, right? I was watching today a documentary I never saw before. No, I didn't watch all that shit about that war. Jesus Christ. You could be watching documentaries forever. I watched the trial about it. Did you know that Hitler was an artist? But he was rejected because he couldn't draw people. He was actually a creative. And he avoided military until there was this uprising where it was like everybody wanted to be part of it. He was just a follower. And he was nothing more than a great speaker. He wasn't any kind of military leader. He was just a great speaker. And that's why they put him on the fucking mic. Really? Yeah. He had a lot of hatred because he grew up poor and he blamed he read the newspapers and he blamed the Polish. And so he grew up to, to rally people to fucking do such things. That's how far I got in it. I just want to go back to it. We live in some really shitty times, and they're not going to get better. Oh, I went to the Nine of Wands. No, we're at the 10. That's pretty bad. The Nine of Wands talks about, pushing through. All right, guys, it's Friday. This card, as the creative fire of wands, has become doused. You've taken on far too many commitments, and a sense of oppression weighs you down. Perhaps you're running a business that takes up every minute of your time. I know you can't come out and hang out tonight because you got to work tomorrow. Doing too much overtime work or just have too many things going at once. I think about Bobby. Who knows where he's stuck, what ditch he's digging that he can't go out. And even if he was in town, what kind of lie would he have to make up to his wife so he could go out and have a good time? And really, would it be about having a good time or just stopping me from having a good time? What are your intentions? Would you like to go to the club with me and have a good time? No, you just don't want me to go to the club. See what I mean? Possessive. Could be a Scorpio. Anyways, perhaps you are running a business, and it's taking up all your time. Or you just have too many things going at once. You are certainly not enjoying yourself. Any excitement or satisfaction that you once had in your enterprise has stifled, and you have no time or energy for personal creativity or pleasure. That sucks. Life used to be like that, dude. I used to be so tired. I just sit on the bed. I couldn't even fucking pull my fucking skirt and fucking pantyhose down. I'd be so fucking tired, just crying. My body ached. I was so tired. I just lay there, pull my clothes off, put on clothes, and just lay there hungry. I didn't even have the fucking energy to go feed myself. I'd go to bed many nights because I was just too hungry or too tired and just wake up. I had to be up at 4 o'clock. I got to get up. I got to do this all again. Really? No matter how much I did it, there was nothing. I was never caught up. There was just the same shit. I never caught up on dishes or laundry. Never got to do anything. Just kept doing everything, but nothing good. Really? Nope. In order to enjoy life, you will have to put some of your burdens down. Learn to delegate and leave things alone that don't really need to be done. Say no sometimes. This shows great strength, not weakness. You need to take care of yourself at the moment. The Ten of Wands demonstrates the pure or the use of pure brute force, detached from any spiritual or moral reason. What is that? There's nothing pushing it but your mind. Your mind is telling you to do this because if you don't, there's consequences. It's making you do this. You're stuck in, you know what I mean? What your mind believes is the right thing. Really? There's no moral reason why you're doing it. It's or spiritual. You're doing it because you can't stop it because of fears of what will happen if you do stop doing all this shit. If you're working magically, you probably want results and effects without the understanding your purpose, unleashing destructive forces that will rebound on you. Be warned. I could see that this could be one of those moments when I start doing magical works. People want to, imitate it and duplicate it and copycat it. It's like, oh, I can speak with the dead. I can speak with the dead. I can do whatever she did. I can do it. Okay, go ahead, Google Witch. I just got real quiet. It's like I'm protecting them. I'm giving them a light that'll keep them safe. Who's giving you a light to keep you safe in the darkness? Do you have Jesus in there with you? Are you taking Archangel Michael? Who are you taking into the dark places with you? How can you take the light in the dark and hope to see the dark? I told you, Pac doesn't live in the light. He's in the dark. These are dark angels, bro. Yes, they help us fight the darkness, but they live in the darkness with us while we're in the dark. I will never see Pac in the light. That's when it happened, when our separation. And I just cried, when will I ever see you again? Anytime you step out of the light. Meaning I can't see him, but we're always there and I can hear him and I can sense him. And that's Jesus. Do you have Jesus? You can't see him in the dark. Can you hear him? Will you know his words in your heart? Here comes Michael Jackson. Shut up, Michael. That is Archangel Michael in the human form right there. Really? His words were love. How can you deny that? No, he wasn't a fucking angel. His voice was that of an angel. His words were that of the angels, bro. Why don't you get that? What is your voice? What are you spreading with your voice? That's what it is. You create with your voice. Abracadabra. Going back to magically, people want to do what I do, but they want to do it just to say that they did it so they can show off to somebody. What the fuck do you think is going to happen if you light the match? If you get a Ouija board, if you cross over, do you think you're going to meet Pac? Who do you think you're going to meet? You're going to meet your own demons, your own devils, not Lucifer. You're going to meet yourself, the mirror, the scary versions of yourself that you deny. And then you're going to meet the scary versions of everybody else that you forgot. You're going to remember your mom screaming at you. You're going to remember every person the evil people in your life. Can you get past them? Realistically, it's like, ugh. The other side, what do you think is over there? That's what Dante tried to tell you, bro. He tried to tell you, but it's right here. It's like, they're gnawing at the jaw right here. Anyways, be careful. That's all it says. It could rebound on you. And that's it too, is like, there's a lot of people, especially right now, they know that I'm magic practitioners. Not many of you, but I've been doing this for a long time. They're like trying to stop me from my next my next timeline. So they're going to send some kind of magical attack to stop me. You can't. It's already set. It used to be. And what is that? I can bring out my book right now. Magical attacks affect you usually mentally or physically, typically emotionally. It feeds off of your mental body. They send them and it attacks the mental body. You have many layers to your being. Once you get your spirit inside there, your spirit can fight the mind. Your spirit can fight the emotions, meaning your spirit can tell you that you'll be okay during times when your mind is weak. Your spirit can help you understand your feelings when you can't, and they're killing you. Your spirit can make you stay quiet when you just want to scream. Your spirit can help control you when you have no control. But realistically, that's what they try to do. It's like, bro, you can't penetrate any, even if you fucked with my outside, my inside is so strong that I can control this. And that's what magical attacks are. They're meant to fuck with you mentally and emotionally. You know what I mean? And then there's just psychic attacks. You know what I mean? Where I can say some shit in your head that makes you think, hey, is he talking to her? Now all of a sudden you think that he's talking to some girl, and you completely laser focused. You are no longer part of this conversation or this room. You are just watching his every move to confirm what I just this piece of paranoia that I just put in your head. I made you think something was wrong, and now you're going to go deep into it and forget everything, and now I can mess with something else that you weren't, that we were just talking about. Realistically, I don't know, something like that if we were playing poker or something. Like, hey, did you see that? And then all of a sudden you can't focus anymore. Really? I'm just saying, magical people, they're what do? They try to fuck with you. And I try to teach you how to, if you're healed, you don't have to worry about magical attacks. But until then, no. Anybody, and I don't have to be magical to fuck with your head. I don't have to be magical to make your emotions boil to where you want to kill yourself. I don't have to be magical to put you in your own pain and in your own suffering and trigger you. But that's what magic attacks do. They do that from afar. They can see that you're struggling with something, and they'll use that struggle to make it harder on you. What do you need to do? Go outside, clean your fucking energy. Really? Yeah. Reverse meaning. The reverse 10 of Wands can mean one of two things. Either you are shirking your responsibilities and only thinking of yourself at any given situation, or leaving others to bear your share and clean up the problems as you leave. Okay, hold on. I am stuck in this card. What the fuck does this have to do with me? That's where you have to put yourself back in this. This is an energy. How is this affecting you in your life? Let me finish reading this. Leaving others to bear your share and clean up the problems you leave, or you're playing the martyr, taking on responsibilities and doing things that could easily be accomplished by others so that you can show how hard done you are. I don't feel an attachment to any of this. I don't feel like this resonates. It just must be the energy upon us. Realistically, I'm not burnout. I'm not pushing myself to do shit that I don't want to do. As far as working magically, wanting results without understanding the purpose, I mean, I know exactly what's going to happen, but I'm not revealing all of that. Realistically, nah, not fully. But everything has a purpose behind it. And as far as what's in here, it's a different blend than I ever did. They always are. What guided you to do it? The spirit. I don't fuck around magically. I don't be like, oh, this will be a good idea, and maybe some of this. No, they tell me exactly what to do and how much, and I don't fuck around. Really? You'll fuck around and blow your head off. Now, if I teach you what I did, then that's because it's safe for everyone to know. But I can't tell you what's in there. Really? No. And it wasn't just that, because I had to anoint my candle, and there's no way you could have anointed it with what I had. And it's not just that either, because then I put the spell inside of the fucking paper, and you couldn't replicate the paper. You couldn't replicate the herbs down to the paper because the paper is made up of Caribbean trees. So you're already lacking the fucking potion. There's no way you could replicate my magic. Really? I mean, not really. You can teach you your own though, but be careful what you're doing. As far as this shirking at responsibilities, yeah, maybe there's something I'm supposed to be doing. Leaving others to bear clean. I'm just taking on. I don't even feel like any of this has anything to do with me. I'm just trying to wear something that has no bearing on me. Really, it's not. I'm not oppressed by anything. I'm not overwhelmed by anything. I'm not tied down by anything. I'm just going with it. Really, you could say that, but God's got the whole world in His hands. Realistically, I mean, I have shit to do, but I don't overdo shit. I don't. I think I posted it. when she said that she had the computer, she was going to order the computer for me. She also said she had the application for my apartment and did I want to come in sooner than next week? And I was like, no, that's fine. But then she sent me a message that I did not respond to. And that could be the only thing that refers to this is like, what am I shirking? I did not respond to that message. She asked if I wanted to come in before that because she double booked me. I do the same thing all the time, but I couldn't remember my bookings because I have an appointment. I keep telling everyone on Monday I was going to the IRS, but it's on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I got to go to the workforce center. So I had to look at my schedule and I just didn't get back to her. That's the only thing I could think of right here that I'm fucking things up. Really? Yeah, but I'm not really stressing it. It's like I'm not going to force the application any sooner. The people aren't moving out any sooner. They already have this all planned. As long as I have it in on time, why does it have to be done right now? I'm not a person that I believe like, and that's what it is. It's like you wait till the last minute, pretty much. Why did I need to get ready any sooner? And that's what I said though. When it comes to like your makeup, that's what we were talking about. I was like, you can't, when you wait till the last minute, there's no room for mistakes. But at the same time, it's like I do my makeup the same if I'm going out tonight or if I'm going to the fucking to work tomorrow or if I'm just going to the store. The only difference is the colors I put on my eyeshadow. It's going to be the same fucking makeup. It's not like I do anything different. The hair's the same, anything. The only thing is stressing if I feel comfortable in my fucking outfit when this happens. Or I'm like, I don't like how I feel and I'm getting frustrated. And that's what you see women go through. They do their makeup all the time. It's not even a big deal. It's like, and that's what it means is if you're too worried about other things, you can't do just regular things that you normally do. It's like, why is this bothering you? Because your mind is somewhere else. You got too much on your mind. Really? Yeah. Not me. If this is who you are, I'm trying to help you see things differently. What's your spiritual work at hand? What's our spiritual work at hand? Ooh, new manifestations. No, it's willpower. You're taking new action. All of the aces are new beginnings. So the Ace of Wands is your willpower. And I just saw a new card. Really? Yeah. The Crow's Tarot. We just finished up with the King of Swords, and we're supposed to start the journey over again. And the journey always starts with what card, guys? Who's been learning tarot with me? Every journey starts with the Fool. He's kind of scary looking, of course, because these are scary cards. But we live in scary times, is what I heard. The Fool is talking about a leap of faith. In order to take that leap of faith, you're going to need willpower. Okay? Really? Yeah, I'm going to read these two cards. And then we'll finish with one, and then we'll go on about our way, and you'll have a morning reading to keep you going for tomorrow. Okay? Let's see. Ace of Wands. You've been feeling restless, that more is possible, and now the Ace of Wands brings renewed vitality, creativity, energy, and expansion. Now, this is the same person that said that they did not have energy. They haven't been having energy to do anything. And I was like, bro, you might not have no energy until the 1st of fucking February when the new light comes. But they got a burst of energy. She said she had done all kinds of stuff and she has all this energy. And that's where it is like things we weren't doing. And I want to point out, everybody kept going on about how beautiful her hair is after she cut it. And she just said, it's a new me. I left 2025. And she inspired so many people to cut their hair. And it really is. It's a fresh new look and it's brave. And that's what I was like going back to my daughter when I watched her do that shit. She cuts her hair all the time by herself. She never stopped cutting her own hair. And it's like, it's a good feel. It feels good to feel fresh and to look different and shit like that. And she was inspiring them. And again, it was funny because I told you, I was like, she was feeling it and I just encouraged it. And now she doesn't regret it and people love it. And she really loves her decision. You're going to love it, not right away, but after. You're going to love the fact that you make this new decision of change in your life. Okay? A flash of inspiration reveals exciting possibilities, and this card gives you the go-ahead to get on with things immediately. The time for thinking has passed. Trust your instincts as your creative path is being revealed. Something that was really cool to me is that their family was like, they were really supportive because she was going to Bone. They went last year at Red Rocks with Ice Cube, and they said they were in the rain and snow. They were diehard Bone fans. Really? Yeah. And the fact that they did that, you know what I mean? It was really cool. Why? Because like attracts like. I just wanted to point that out. I really thought that was really cool. It's because, these people, they were supporting her because she was doing something that they support, and it was really cool family support. And that's what I told her. I came from a really fucked up family and I had to walk away from it, but you have good family ties, and if you have some good people, don't let them go, bro. I'm not against all family, bro. Some of you have really great, you were gifted to have some great soul tribe members in your family. My family wasn't created in my family. That's what sucks. Some of you actually have family within your family, like soul connections with family members. You know what I mean? Your nieces, your cousins, your aunts, your mom. You guys are soul tied. Many lives you've traveled together and played different roles in each other's lives. And I saw that in their family. They're soul tied, dude. And that's good shit. I don't have that with my family. We weren't soul tied, right? We were tied in this life and only this life. And we were tied by karma, which was the life I was born into. Had I not been born into this life, I would never have anything to do with these kind of people, right? And that's how we learn to have compassion and love and forgiveness and understanding for a type of people that in another life we would have persecuted or probably did. We become the very thing that we feared or hated in the next life. And then we learn to love it, and then we're broken free from this. But realistically, I was born into, what I was born into, and some of them are terrible. And I saw that today, and it was uplifting. It was pretty to see. Really, she came from a pretty family, and they had pretty ties. Not on the outside, on the inside. Not on the outside, on the inside. Trust me, there's a difference. Okay, anyways, you are in for a great adventure, but remember that the first spark still needs to be tended in order to make the fire blaze into existence. The ace can be reckless, and you need to still consider your actions carefully in order to see any project through. Something's coming that I don't see coming. I can see everything how this works, but there's always something, and it's in everybody's card reading. I can't pretend like I'm not seeing it. They're like, you don't see this coming. I don't know what it is, but I don't see it coming because I'm too busy working on what is coming. That there's always something. Always know that. Expect the unexpected. Even though you have this all planned out and everything looks cool and you think that it's all going to go this way, don't expect something bad is going to happen. Just expect a pleasant surprise. There is a surprise to be had. As much as I think that I've got this under control and everything's going to go a certain way, something else will pop its head into that. And that's where I want you to understand that. Consider your actions carefully in order to see any project through. Reverse meaning. You may have taken on too many things and you're in danger of burning out. That's what the 10 said. You have plenty of ideas, but you don't see them through. You need to learn to have more confidence in yourself and your creative vision. Make a resolution to finish the things you start, and you will surprise yourself and the people around you with your talent. Depending on the surrounding cards, the Ace of Wands reverse can indicate problems of oh, here we go with your sexual nature. That's me. I had explained that too, frigidity and impotence and all of that. So my greatest power was stolen from me in this life. I could not use sex in this life as it was used against me, right? So in order for that for me to re-inherit my sexual power, I had to do the healing and have a reverence and an understanding for what sexual power is, right? And that's the turning of the leaf of the Lilith to teach you guys how. And that's exactly what I said out loud. It's like men are powerless to pussy and women know it. I can put on my face right now and I could put on this dress and I can walk into your life and completely destroy it because you're powerless to the sexual nature that I can give off. That's an abuse of power. And until I understand that and that everybody is abusing that power right now against men, and that's what makes them powerless, and until we learn that, then we're not going to be able to have this power. And that power is actually used against us. So these women that use their sexuality, like Kim Kardashian, they use their beauty their glamour magic to make you powerless. In essence, all it does is make them sexually abused and mentally abused by this whole thing. They're playing with a they're playing with a power that ends up hurting them because they try to be sexually pleasing, and in that all they get is sex. Can I get an amen? Amen. So, lesson learned many lifetimes. So that's where it is. This is what it is it can indicate problems there. In order for you to understand your sexuality and restore your sexuality, you need to understand how you lost it. Period. Point blank. All right, this too is a denial of your personal expression, and you need to look at the reason that this situation has arisen. How come I don't sleep around? How come I don't have experiences with men? Okay. There's nothing wrong with me having a sexual experience with a man. How come I don't? How come I've never allowed myself to do these things? Well, you can see as my spirit got stronger, I started to allow myself to experiment and have these feelings, and that's really what it is. It's like it was a denial of my personal expression. And when it came out, I acted like, I definitely didn't act like Mother Mary. I just was surprised by it because I don't do this because of what I've been through. And it's the more that I've deal with what I've been through, the more I'm willing to do this for my own pleasure, not for your pleasure, but I'd like this to be pleasurable. When before it was only an act of your pleasure. I only had sex with you to please you. It was never pleasing to me. I never wanted it because I wanted it. I was doing it because you wanted it. Do you see how this works? Lovely as it may be. All right. It's a denial of your personal expression, and you need to look at the reason this situation has arisen and seek help in resolving it. Marshall, you want to tell us why you're not fucking hoes? Okay. Go seek professional help on that. Sometimes this card can mean the inability to conceive a child. I don't know. I don't believe in that unless God has taken that away, and he does that for good reason. Why? Because you didn't break the generational curse and it's gotten worse in your loins, and he doesn't want to breed anymore. Bottom line, bottom line, bottom line, bottom line. But other than that, no. I believe in the I'm from Old Testament, bro. Do you know what he did? Jesus. He'll give you a child at an old age. And even that's my destiny. I'm only 43. When's this going to happen? Well, not in the next year. I don't think so. And that's just it. And you're like, dude, you're old. No, I'm young. I don't move. I'm not moving real like old or anything like that. What does a child need? A good 20 years of your life. Can I give a child 20 years of my life? Do I have 60? Will I be here for 60? Yeah. Can I still give a child, what it needs from 40 to 60? Yeah. From 50 to 70? Yeah. From 60 to 80? Yeah, depending on my life source. Where am I in my health right now? Do I feel that I have 20 more years of my life? The question is, do I feel that I have enough life? Who matter? What matters? It doesn't matter what I do in those 20 years. I'm going to live life. Can I give 20 years to a child? The first 5 years are always the hardest. They need the most care, but then it starts to become different type of care. You're always going to be there, but they need you the most. The most hardest is those first 5 years. So at 43, can I give 5 years of intense love to a small child? The first 5 are the hardest. That's the crying, that's the diapers, that's the fucking this and the that and the throw ups and the da da da. After 5, they're great little people that are starting to get education. You can start to train them. They start to be part of classes. They're starting to learn shapes, lots of different things. They're not so needy. Now you can bring in a team, which is, you can bring them out into the world and they start learning from the world, not just you. Can you give a small child 5 years of your time? The best 5 years they need the most of your time, the first 5 years of their life. Okay. Then you can deduct that a little bit because now you start getting community help because they start bringing the child into the community. Can you give them another pretty strong 5 years, which is not 100%, we'll say 95%, but it's not going to be as hard because they talk now. They're potty trained. They tell you what they want to eat. They, you know what I mean? They go to sleep. They follow rules. They do all kinds of stuff. The first 5 years, the hardest. People are like, I can't have children. They're not babies the whole life. They become small people that are an absolute joy to spend time with, and you don't want to leave them because they're great company. You love to be in their company. You get to teach things, and they teach you things, and they're joyful, and they see things different, and it's giggles and fun, and, you know, lots of play. Really, it's not that bad. We're never too old to give children 5 years, 10 years, 20 years of our time. The question is, do you have the body to keep up with it? Okay, first off, the milk comes with it. Really? Yeah, it comes with the package. So you'll be all right there. Sleep, no, it doesn't matter if you're I was a teen parent and you're tired. It doesn't matter. You're just tired, bro. They sleep every 2 hours. You're tired. If you're on that schedule like me, you're just tired. It doesn't last forever. The bond and the experience and this opportunity, this gift that God has given you that you get to give back to the world lasts forever. Their life will make a ripple effect in everybody's lives for just 5 years of you just loving this person, this little small thing that's helpless and needs you, that looks just like you, that came from you. Really? Yeah. So going back to this, I don't believe that you can't have a child. You could always be that you can be a nurturer and a provider and a protector and a lover of a small child, whether it is yours or another. You know what I mean? If you so shall choose to sacrifice your own needs and your own wants for a small person that you care more about than yourself. Really? Yeah. Something to manifest. Do you guys want to have children? Have you ever thought about it? Are you scared of it? Are you scared because of the world we live in? You can't protect them from the world? Okay. Who can? God. So what do? You put them in God's hands and He'll protect them. Is He going to save them from, you know what I mean, from the pains and sufferings of this world? Protect them in bubble wrap? And are we going to send them down the Nile River like Moses and hope he doesn't get killed? Are we going to run like Mary and hope that they don't kill our babies? We're going to do our best, but in the end, they're going to go out there, and what's going to happen? Come on, let's be real. Unless we change this world, they're going to get eaten up by that world. But they'll be okay. We all got eaten up and spit out. Our parents did, our parents' since the beginning. It's a dog eat dog world out there. We can only prepare them for what the world has. We can't mask them and tell them that it's not a bad place, and that we can't also tell them that everybody's bad people and all bad things and don't go there and don't do this. We teach them to trust God. We teach them to look to God. We teach them to understand God, because that's what gets us out of it. Our gut feeling, right? That intuition, something's given us a bad feeling. We need our kids to know those feelings. We need them to know when something feels off so they can get out of it when we're not there. To know the things they cannot see. That's all we can do for them, bro, is put them in God's hands so they know that. And that's what I teach you, is to trust those feelings, be guided by the Spirit so you're protected. Now, granted, yeah, God knew damn well, at no point today did He tell me it was not the right day. He knew damn well I wasn't going to the concert. You're supposed to be psychic. I am. You didn't see this coming? Not at all. Realistically, and that's just it. He blinded you. He didn't let you know. Well, I mean, I could have known. And that goes back to your cheating boyfriend or your losing situations. You didn't know? You didn't know? I had a feeling. Okay. Did I have a feeling today was the wrong day? No, I didn't even feel it. Felt like the perfect day. Realistically, and that's just it. He'll walk you into some shit. Don't think He won't, and He's going to walk our children into it too. Just because I've raised my children away from drugs and alcohol doesn't mean He's not going to walk them into it to fight that battle too. They're destined. They have to, you know what I mean? They were born under the curse. They'll have to, you know what I mean? They'll have to keep breaking the curse too to keep this curse broken. Really, it should stop with them, but they were broken while I was still cursed. They were born while I was still cursed. So they carry it, and they'll have to fight the battle themselves. How did I fight the battle? through a great mindset. So all I can give them is the mindset to fight the battle, not make them scared of it, but make them understanding. You are Native American and you come from two addicts, bro. As soon as you get out there, the first thing they're going to offer you is alcohol. I'm going to tell you why we drink and how fun it is and why we do it, but I'm going to tell you that it's going to be harder for you than other people to stop doing it once you start. I'm not telling you not to start. I'm telling you how hard it's going to be to stop. And that's just it. I'm not trying to scare her. I'm not going to deprive her from a natural experience that happens at 21 or 18 or whenever somebody wants to give you your first drink. I'm not going to deny her that because she's scared that she's going to be an alcoholic and have liver damage and cirrhosis and all this shit. I'm not going to deny her because of my fears of what I've seen it do to people. I'm just going to tell her that this could happen to you. And it's in your blood that you're going to fight this battle, and it's going to be a harder battle for you than others. And that's it. She's going to have to, you know what I mean? She'll be ghosted. She'll go through all the same shit we did, bro. We can't protect them from the lessons they'll need to learn to build the character that they'll need. Our character is built by our experiences. That's why some of us have such strong characters, because we've been through such such crazy experiences. You know what I mean? We stand out because we had to stand up. And who took us there? God. We didn't run away from God and just go, into devil experiences. You know what I mean? And even Paul can tell you that. We weren't away from God. He took us there and he brought us here, and he's right there holding our hand while we're going through, these difficult experiences. Really? And the next one is that. Why did he create us? So that we could create new life here. So that he can be born again in a new child. Really? Why am I having children? Because God wants more children. He wants me to birth his new earth angels. They're my children by extension. But when I'm gone, they're his. They will be his children. And that's what all of us are. My mom gave birth to God's daughter. I gave birth to God's daughter and God's sons. Do you understand that? That's why he wants us to birth. He wants us to keep him going here. Not us, but a piece of us stays with them. And that's where our family trees and our bloodlines, and we become ancestors, and you look so much like your great, 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 great grandpa type shit comes from. But really, it's God. We are all created in his image. So we keep, I've become a better person, and he wants me to leave a version of this better person here. 2 of them. These 2 kids were made of a version of what I was, 10 years ago, or 13, 14 years ago. My other children were made of the version of who I was when I was a teenager. I left 4 versions of myself here. He wants me to leave the healed versions here too. Really? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense to you now? Why he wants you so bad? He wants so badly to give you a partner and for you to have a happy family. And that's why we're drawn to versions of ourselves. We attract what's like us. Really? Mm-hmm. But as we change, we're no longer attracted to them. And they're no longer attracted to us. And that's a good thing. That means that we're changing the version of who we are, and now we're attracting someone else. Going back to my current twin flame, it's just not something I consider. Why don't you? Is this one of these twin flames where you're going to act a fool? I've never considered it. I've never looked at him like that. Why? He's just not the type of guy that I did. And to be honest, he's a good guy. I was always attracted to douchebags. I was always attracted to this type of guy. He's a different type of guy, a better type of guy. I wasn't attracted to nice guys like Ali, Lewis, Brian, none of these nice guys. I'm attracted to fucking Marshall Mathers, fucking assholes like fucking Russ. You know what I mean? Fucking pompous heads like fucking Kanye West. Someone like me. Now, it's not to say that, and that's where you learn the different levels of you and you start working through them and you become attracted to the different parts of you. And that's where it is. It's like, what's going on with this one? I mean, he's me, but just a version of me that I'm not, that I don't always be. And it's like, it's not as, I don't know, just that. You start changing, and that's a good thing. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to outgrow yourself. And you're never too old for anything. It just means it took you a long time to figure it out. Understand that. And don't look at your age as anything more than the number on your skin. That's all that means. You might have wrinkles that verify your age, but the way you act, nah, you're not acting your age. And that's what that means. I know some of you think about you're not going to be here long enough. Who are you to decide? If God's telling you to go, he wants you to have a baby, then he has a plan for that child, with or without you. Don't you think? When he decides to just take you out of that child's life at whatever age, like what happened with Dre. Dre left 3 children. Is he not going to take care of those children? When Kobe left, did he just orphan his children? No. He left them with God. God's got them. How could you have peace in the afterlife if you didn't know God was taking care of all things? You could never have peace if you didn't know they were taken care of, that they would be provided for, they'd be protected, they're loved, they'll be okay. You could not have rest. And that's rest in peace. They can't rest in peace, not knowing that you're not taken care of. Only when they get over there and they see that God's got you, that they can finally rest. And he does. No matter what you're going through right now, there's no devil. He's putting you through your character development. And he's trying to make you break curses. And by doing so, he's putting you through some fucked up battles that he probably put your whole family through, and they failed. They failed. Many people have failed to the battles that he's putting us through. And many will, until we teach them as we win these battles and we teach other people how we did it, which was nothing more than a mindset. We didn't have the strength, we had the mindset, and we took the right actions. We didn't really have the resources or anything to bail ourselves out. And that goes back to Kobe. When Kobe was in jail, there's nothing he could do. He was about to lose his family, his career, everything. They're telling him he's going to jail for fucking, what was it, rape or some shit? All he could do was trust God that this was going to work out. I didn't do what they said, and you know what I mean? It's going to be okay. And that's Jesus, bro. And even Jesus, bro, there's a perfect example. You might actually do time. You might be an innocent man hung for crimes you didn't do. They might accuse you for the rest of your life of being something you never was. Jesus died like that. You have to understand that. You're not playing with God. You're playing with man. And man's judgment upon your life is based on their understanding, and they have no compassion. Jesus' judgment on our souls is the best thing because he had all compassion. He forgives us for what we don't know, and that we're doing things that we don't know the effect and how bad it's hurting ourselves and other people. And he's willing to see past that. He's trying to teach us to have that kind of compassion on others, but they don't. They sure the fuck don't. They're not going to forgive you for what you did last week. They're not going to forgive you for what you did in your 20s. They're not going to forgive you. That's why you need Jesus' forgiveness to replace those that won't forgive you. And yourself. You can look back at yourself and really hate yourself for some of the shit. And that's really what it is, in these broken relationships. You don't hate them. You hate yourself for loving them. You hate yourself for even wanting them. You hate yourself for even being with them. You have to accept that a part of you really wanted that person. A part of you did love that person. You know what I mean? You're hating yourself and taking it out on this person. I really hate Bobby a lot, but it's not his fault that I love him. He didn't do anything. And that's what I kept trying to figure out. What did you do to make me all fucking in love with you? He didn't. My twin flames, they didn't do anything. And I terrorize them because I'm forced to love them and I don't want to. Oh, Wolfman. Sorry, bud. I don't want to love you. Right? And then I've got to be careful, because what happens if that shit turns on to Brian and I pattern on him? You fall in love and you don't want to. And you self-sabotage because you just don't want to give into this feeling. And you don't want to give into it because you don't want it to blow up in your face. You don't want to give in because you don't want it to not work. How's that for fucking brutal truth? Really? Mm-hmm. You know what the cool thing about loving the wrong person is? Somehow you saw something in that person that is nearly impossible. You believed in a future in that person that doesn't have a future. And your love for them made you believe that that was enough to create this future. That's how strong love is. You come out of it and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? You weren't. Because your logical mind would have never thought such things. Your heart can create all things off of love, dude. And that's where I teach you how to do all this crazy manifestations from your heart. Really? Yeah. You can create a whole fucking broken marriage with 6 kids off of fucking the idea of love, and be living in a whole torturous fucking unhappy relationship off this stupid idea of love that you fed yourself. Really? It's dangerous, bro. What, here comes Pac. What would you do for love? Hey, that's better than Little Wayne's. All right, let's take this leap in love, which is what? Loving ourselves. Taking leaps of faith, right? Going back into things that we said we would never do because it didn't end well. Or facing things that we're too afraid to do because we've never done before. Lots of different ways to look at it. So, for anybody that's interested, we're starting the tarot again. We do this all the time with lots of cards. That's why you'll see them. Those ones, no. We didn't shake, rattle, and roll these. So we're going to take them at least one more ride where I'll teach you each card and it'll attach to a story. And then you'll start to learn it. And then later you can use the tarot like I do. Really? Yeah. But it's the same thing as the Ace of Wands. So that's why I saw this in my visions. That was another thing too. I was like, when I see them, what does that look like? It looks like a holograph, and they're not talking above you, but they're standing there and there's an energy exchange. When you go to the ocean and you stare into the ocean, does the ocean talk to you? Or it's an energy exchange of you just staring into it and you're getting information. That's the same thing with communicating with the dead until they really start talking shit like Pac. But in the beginning, no, it's just images. And that's with all of the divine. It's just images. You're being fed images. And with that images is feelings. So when you meet a new person, this is an image of a new person. You have to go off your gut feeling. How do you feel about this person? Don't judge a book by its cover. And that's where everybody gets me fucked up. Right now, with my face on and me, well, not anymore. And that's what she's like, damn, girl, we look crazy. I was like, this is the definition of catfish. You know this, right? We don't look like this every day. We used to, and we put it on to show you what we used to be, but we took all this off and we ask that you love us without any of this. But when we put this on, everybody fucking loves us at face value. If I put on my face, you fucking value the shit out of this shit. You have to learn to take that off and be lovable without all of that. Realistically, yes. It's very hard to take yourself off. And it feels awkward putting yourself on, but you have reference to, I wouldn't go outside without looking like this. Really? Mm-mm. You would never catch me outside without a full set of makeup and all of that. I changed my ways, and now it's like I don't even do this shit no more. And she was pointing that out. And it's like, you didn't lose yourself. You didn't dumb yourself down. You're just being the true self that you were hiding behind the makeup. Realistically, yeah. And that's where it is don't judge a book by its cover. Because as I sit out there And that's what I tried to tell him. I was like, I sit out there looking like the most unapproachable person. I have no eyebrows on. I typically, today I never wear my partials. I have partial teeth. I have two that are missing, which are my fangs. So I have no eyebrows. I'm missing teeth, and I have a fucking witch's laugh, and I'm doing witch work. I look absolutely unapproachable. I was like, geez, God, you totally made me the witch. But in this instant, I can look like the most sexiest, unbelievable bitch that you ever saw. And that's why I said, don't judge a book by its cover. It doesn't matter what I look like. Who am I inside? Who are you going to get after you take off this makeup? Realistically, I can look like the girl that every man wants. But are you going to want me when I don't look like a girl that any man wants? That's important to me. We have to look pleasing to you for you to want us. I have to feel pleased with myself when nobody else wants me. Right? Learn how to wear yourself again. Okay? All right. So the Fool is about that, is stepping out and, yourself, being yourself. Okay? It begins with a cry in the darkness, the first herald of the lonesome journey. The trial unrolls itself before you through unfamiliar territory or terrain, excuse me. Here and now, you can be exactly who you say you are. Your first step is imminent and cannot be retaken. Heed the bird's warning. Allow its full throat cry to echo before you, calling the path ahead out of the smoke and mirror. Set yourself into motion, even though the second and third steps remain unclear. And that's where it is. Where am I supposed to go from here? I don't know. All I know is I'm supposed to do this stupid show. I didn't even know what was going to happen after that. What happens after that? Release. I'm done. It's done. Then what? Well, you showed that you were able to do that. So then I don't know what comes from that. More stuff. You're planting seeds. Little do you know it. By just taking little steps of bravery. Really? Mm-hmm. Keywords: the call of the unknown, the step yet untaken, human, what is this? Frailty. All journeys begin with the Fool, where you got to be foolish to do this. You got to be a fucking fool to do this. Yeah? And that's where you have to be brave again. You have to be innocent. It's not about being wise. Wisdom doesn't help you make risky decisions. Being risky is being foolish. You take leaps of faith in the belief that everything will work out. That's that first step of blind faith. You're not doing this for bad reasons. You're doing it because you believe in something good. And that's why we take steps. What keeps us back is our understanding that this is going to be bad. That understanding comes from our perception or what we've been fed. So some of my beginning, videos, and that's what I told them, in the beginning, God asked me to give up my job. That was before the music. He asked me to give up my job, which was to stop working, stop doing Lyft. I was having a difficult time anyways. I was spending too much time dealing with memory and all the repressed memories and a lot of it. And it was just too much to deal with. And God said to give up my job. And I'm like, well, how am I going to pay the bills? Who's going to take care of me? I'll help you. I'll show you ways to take care of yourself. I'll take care of you. I couldn't really argue. I had already believed in God so much that I just never gave him that much faith. But I felt it in my heart. Something in my heart. It was a real conversation. It wasn't my heart telling me. Is that God specifically said, I want you to give this up. I put up a post. He made me put it in writing. I retire. As of today, I retire in the belief that God is going to take care of me, something. It's in my first Instagram. So I stopped working. Now, I did have stuff to live off of, so I lived off of that for as long as I could. But then it ran out, and then I had to start really faithing. He kept providing, and he kept providing. But ultimately, we knew that what was going to happen. I was going to lose everything. And I did. My biggest fear was to lose my house, because before I got that house, I had came from homelessness. I was in a homeless shelter, a domestic violence shelter. I got that house and I said, I'll never do that again. So I was afraid to ever lose that house because I didn't want to ever go homeless again. So even though I hated that house and I hated my neighbors and I had no peace there, I told myself I would never give it up. But now I have no choice. I'm about to lose it. And God's telling me it'll be okay. You've done this before. It'll be okay. I'll take care of you. All right, God. So naturally, I go through the process and I get evicted. And I have nowhere to go. And my spirit's telling me to go. Weeks before this happened, I knew that I was supposed to go down to the Native American land where my children were from, which was Oklahoma. What you didn't know is that's past trauma. That's where it all started. Really? Mm-hmm. That's where it all started. So I go back there and I have to relive memories, and this is the awakening. I don't know what I'm supposed to do when I get there. I know I'm not supposed to get a job, and I'm not supposed to put the kids in school. I'm supposed to sit and wait till God tells me what to do next. So I sit down with my little bit of books, my first tarot cards, some oils, a couple crystals, and I start learning spirituality. I start turning to God, not to the Bible, but other forms of God. And that's where I find my answers. And I live by that. So every day I turn to God and I ask God, what am I supposed to do today, God? And that's how I live. I'm guided by the Spirit. It doesn't always come directly from God, but I know how to do divination, which is conversations with the divine. Divination is nothing more than they call it magical work with the Spirit. You're doing divination work to connect with the Spirit of all things. So I do that not to ask questions about boyfriends or girlfriends or stock markets or what's the lotto numbers. I do that to ask God, what do I do today, God? What do you want me to focus on today? And I live my life like that. Sometimes, in some cases, he shows me further down the line. Well, on this day, you're going to do this. But until then, I stay in today. So tomorrow, all I know about tomorrow is that tomorrow night, I'll be at the concert that I thought I would be at tonight. I know for sure now. There's nothing stopping me now. I wasn't for sure that it would happen. She was freaking out too. She had called me like 4 times while I was getting ready. She's like, girl, I thought you were going to do some funny shit. It's like, nah, bro, I'm not that funny, bitch. I just was getting ready. And people do that. I know what that means. You're like, they stand you up. They just don't answer the phone. You're ready, and now they won't answer the phone. She thought I was doing that. No, I was just busy. But shit like that. So I know that for tomorrow, but what else does tomorrow hold? That's only tomorrow night. And even though I think that this might happen, okay, well, I know I'll see them, I'll see him and them. There's still too much. What else will I see? What else will I experience? Who else will I talk to? And that's just the night. What about the whole day? When I wake up in the morning, God has a plan. He's got a whole day planned for me. I just can't see it today. It's like you're psychic. I mean, I see time, but not every little detail of time. Only when it's happening, I can see the bigger picture of what's happening. And that's where we do something like this, is the projections. So what's tomorrow? Taking a leap of faith and not feeling overwhelmed. And, new manifestations, new actions. That's all I got. And that's why I pulled the cards. What are we going to, what's going to be in tomorrow? When I wake up, what is it going to feel like? That's what this is. Really? Yeah. The cards don't lie, just people lie to you of what they think this card means in your life. That's why I teach you to have an understanding of what the cards mean to you. And that's why I was like, 10 of Wands, what does this have to do with me? The only thing I could come up with is I failed to respond to an email. That's all I got. But I'll get real deep in those and be like, what is this telling me? Because it's trying to tell me, God's trying to use this. That's why I went to this. It's the same thing as the Bible. You want to do it real quick? Watch. Doesn't matter where you go to God. Jesus, tell us something good. I tell Jesus because this is the book about Jesus, but it's not. It's just about all of God's works. Before I jump into this, as I told them, every prophet in this Bible spoke to a spirit. It was either the Spirit of Christ or the Holy Spirit. Every single one. It was the Spirit of God that told Moses' mother to get rid of him and send him down there. It was the Spirit of God that took Moses to Egypt, or to the Pharaoh's home, that made him the son of the Pharaoh. It was the Spirit of God that ripped him out of that fucking home, took him back to fucking homelessness, made him fight that fucking family and win all this. He sailed him into troubled waters, and he sailed him out of it. He cut the fucking waters. He made them enemies. And I want you to understand something real quick. Your enemies were those people that you cared about. Strangers don't hurt us. There's no stranger danger. The people that hurt us are the people that are closest to us. What creates an enemy? A friend gone mad, a family member gone mad, and they rally people up against you. You don't have any enemies. You have people that are hurt. You have people that love you that are hurt. Really? Trust me. When you get to the psychology of this. All right, I'm going to pull out my Holy Bible and I'm going to show you. It's the same shit. Where did we pull to? Daniel. Oh, shit. What'd you get? I got the Daniel fast. Lent's coming up, isn't it? Look it up in your calendars. We're supposed to be on 619. Cool. What's that? That's the area code for San Diego. 619. That's what we're going to read. It starts at the top of the page, 619. In January, I think it happens, Christians and I think a lot of other religions start the fasting season. It starts before Easter, I think. When? I don't know. It's coming up, and it's supposed to last for 40 days, and the 40 days breaks before Easter. Really? Something like that. I don't know. They all have different practices to it. And I said that it might be time to do a fast, if nothing for 3 days. What is it? Sacrificing your own personal fucking pleasures to have a spiritual connection with God. Giving up your appetite for God. And every time you're hungry, instead of turning to food, you turn to the Bible or something of God. Replacing something of yourself with God. And typically it's food. You're sacrificing your worldly pleasure. The only thing we get to really enjoy is a good meal around this bitch. You want me to give up the one thing I enjoy? Yes. And we talked about that in Jesus's teaching last time. We talked about it with, we're reading the words of Jesus. We're not doing that right now. We started that on Sunday. Okay? All right, we're going to start at the top of the page. What is this? I don't know. Daniel saved from the lions. I'll start on 18. Chapter 6, verse 18. Now the king went to the palace and spent the night fasting. No musicians were brought before him. Also, Also, his sleep went from him. 19. Then the king arose the very early in the morning and went in haste to the den of the lions. And when he came into the den, he cried out with a laminate voice to Daniel. The king spoke, saying to Daniel, Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, from whom you serve continually, been able to deliver you from the lions? Told you, bro. What is the lions? It has to do with the Leo energy. I was picking all that up too. This is what I told you. God will deliver you to it, dude. He knew that they were going to lock you up for fucking believing in him. He knew that they were going to persecute you for believing in him. But he's going to redeem you. People fucking thought I was fucking crazy, bro. They turned on me so bad. They tried to take my children. They tried to do everything because I walked away from this life and I followed the voice of God. They thought I was a fucking lunatic, and they deemed me as a terrible person, a terrible mother, a fucking lunatic. Wonder why I call you bitch. Look how stupid you look now. That voice led me right back to stand in front of you, and now I hold him with me. You don't even know the fucking voice of God. But I'm telling you, this is what happens, bro. When you start following your heart, bro, they're going to persecute you. And he knows it. And he's going to stand there and he's going to, you know what I mean? Till your last dying breath, and he's going to redeem you. That's why they call him God the Redeemer. What happened here? It's another story of how they try to fucking persecute a God believer. No, your God's not real. That's bullshit. And, that's heresy and hang them. And, just another one of those stories. Really? Mm-hmm. And he comes in and he's freaked out. No way did your God save you from these lions. Then Daniel said to the king, O king, live forever. My God sent his angels and shut the lion's mouth, so that they may not hurt me, because I was found innocent before him. And also, O king, I have done no wrong before you. And that's it. Everything you said about me wasn't true. I wasn't on drugs. I wasn't any of that shit, bro. You guys lied on my name, bro. You told all kinds of stories, and then you would bring your people to my page to make fun of me, only for them to turn at you and make you look like stupid. They saw that I was real. You couldn't. You couldn't believe it, so you wanted everyone else not to believe it. But when they came, they became believers, not of me, but of my God, the same God that Jesus spoke of. I'm teaching you that it's safe to believe in him, but you will be persecuted for such beliefs. Now the king was exceedingly glad before him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up from the den. So Daniel was taken out of the den, with no injury whatsoever was found on him, because he believed in his God. That's all we had to read. He teaches you to have that kind of belief, but he also wants you to know that, yeah, bro, just like Job, he's going to serve you up just so he can show up and show them up. You don't know. You're scared, bro. Kobe didn't know what was going to happen. Pac didn't know if he was going to live. It wasn't his time, but that's what it is. It's like, damn, God, you fucking let me live 5 shots. You let me live all of this just to let me die. Yep. You woke up to go to sleep, bro. Really? You were born just to die. God's got you. There's no such thing as the devil. And he knows an innocent, he weighs your heart. They don't know you're truly innocent. And she loved telling them that story. She told him the story about what happened here in the building, about how they accused me of being racist and that I told them to go back to their country. I was like, nah, let me tell you what really happened, bro. I was like, I hate these fucking people. She heard me say that, and she fabricated her own projection. And she ran and she said she hates these people and she wants them to go back to their country. Was that my words? Or did she repeat somebody else's words and say they came out of my mouth? And they came to my door and they tried to kick me and my family out off of false accusations. But the people that knew me, these were people that didn't know me. The people that knew me stood in my honor. They knew without a doubt I would never say such things. They know that I'm evil, that I'm cutthroat. I'm not evil. I'm very kind. I'm cutthroat. That my words will kill you. I'm very cutthroat with my words. I'm not an evil person. In that moment yesterday, and that's what I tried to tell her, I was like, B didn't know what was happening when I was trying to be Christ-like. I was like, my skin wanted to lash out at this girl, and I'm sitting there, I'm going to say something mean. God, help me, God, help me, God. Meaning I know it's here. And she's like, you were looking at her face because I wanted her to know that I am fighting this battle in the name of God. I am battling not to hurt you in the name of God. I want to hurt you with my words right now, but I'm trying not to in the name of God. And I changed the words, and God be with me. I did it. It's not always that easy. But when somebody says some shit and you're like, I'm going to hurt them, God. And he says, no, do something different. Acknowledge that, damn, you're about to hurt them with your words. You're about to do some shit, but you got to be a better person. And that's the faith, and that's Christ, and that's that. You know what I mean? Like false accusations. Kobe knew he didn't do what they said he did, but it didn't matter. And there's many motherfuckers that are in jail. Jesus didn't do what they said, bro. They killed him for believing in a God that they said was false. All he tried to do was show him that he was real. He said he was the Messiah. They tried to say he wasn't. I told you I was Lilith reincarnated. You tried to say I wasn't. And what did I keep telling you? Deny me before the Lord. He's going to deny you. Don't do this. I'm not lying to you. I cannot live in truth and tell lies. You're lying because you cannot accept my truth. You cannot persecute me for your disbelief. It's in the books. I am who I say I am. These stories are real. You're damning yourself. You're damning yourself by not believing it, that these religions were part of God. You're damning yourself by not showing kindness to people. You're damning yourself by not believing in any of this. I guess you're not damning. You're already damned. The belief only helps you. I don't give you something that's going to hurt you. I give you something that's going to help you, which is to believe in more of God, not less, but that there's more of God and that He's everywhere and for everyone. And that belief, that shit'll get you killed around here. They really will kill me for this. I'm going to die an honorable death by believing that everybody had access to God, like Jesus said. I'm going to die just like Jesus for believing just like Jesus. I'm following in Jesus's footprints. And just like Jesus, I will be resurrected, and they will fear me just as much. And that's just to show that God was always true. He did it once, He'll do it again with anybody, anytime, anywhere. People don't know who they're fucking with. And that's that last thing I shared in my shorts. You know what I mean? You're fucking with a child of God. Don't fuck with a child of God. Don't try to fuck. And you don't even know. We're all children of God. Just because my skin looks like this, you don't know. I'm an image of God. And He loves all His children. And He don't like us out here fucking with them. He don't like us treating His children like shit. And that's where we have to learn this equality. We have to learn compassion. We have to learn kindness. We have to learn forgiveness. We have to learn to be more gentle. We have to learn to be nurturing to these people that don't, you know what I mean, that don't accept us. We have to learn to love our enemies. They're not our enemies. They were just bred to fear us and hate us. If we love them, they won't hate. You can't hate something that just wants to love you. I don't know, Bobby, you hate me? Do you hate me for wanting to love you? Do you hate God? Do you hate yourself for wanting to love me back? It's all in your mind. Really? Yeah. So I'm going to leave on this note. And it was a good note. And again, it was funny. She was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God. Oops, I did it again. And it just worked out. Really? You didn't know what day it is? I don't know what life I'm in, realistically. All right, let's read the comments and let you go. They already got, oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Oh, I love these people that jump in and think they're the only person in my life and they think I'm talking to them directly. I love you people. You're funny. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm talking to the masses. It's not to a particular person. I'm not having an individual. This is a collective conversation. Just know that if you're in there, I'm not talking to you directly. I don't even know you're in there. I never look down at the phone. Hello, I want to know what's going to happen to me in 8 months. Well, do you want to give me some context to what you think is going to happen? I don't know what you've got planned in 8 months. Why did you put 8 months? That's a very limited time. What happens in 8 months depends on what you do today, not in 8 months from now. Will it happen? Do you want it to happen? Are you afraid of it happening? Do you know it's certain? Nothing's really certain. If you change your mind, you change your reality. So are you asking me if you're going to jail in 8 months? Are you asking me if you're going to move in 8 months? Are you going to get your inheritance? What happens to you? Are you asking me what God has planned for you? I can't tell you that. It depends on where you're at. I can tell you where you're, based on your current circumstances, where it looks like you're going. But if you change your mind, you could be going in a completely different direction by tomorrow. And then your reality, your future changes. Otherwise, no. You keep thinking this way, you're going to have the same fucking future always. You're destined for fucking doom thinking like that, is what they say. What do you think about this? The song "Finish in the River" by Biscuit Beats. It's my favorite right now. Give it a listen. I like the name Biscuit Beats. I can remember something like that. I'm gonna write this down just for you, and I will listen to it. I'll give you. Thank you for sharing with me. I don't know. I like music. What is it called? Song "Fishing in the River." Fishing in the River. I have to write it down because I have a terrible memory. Really? I can. It mixes in with all my past lives. This life really doesn't matter to me. And who was it by? Biscuit Beats. I like that. Keep buttering my biscuits is what I heard. I'm gonna check it out. I'll let you know. Check my community page for my response. All right, quit with the witchcraft crip. Okay, well, go praise God somewhere else. Um, I saw that on a bus sign today. What'd you see? Well, I mean, those are synchronicities. You can be reading a whole paragraph and all of a sudden somehow this word seems to stand out to you. You don't know what it is, but there's something about that word. Those are called synchronicities. There's something standing out. It's a break in the matrix where the spirit world is trying to reach you through things. It could be animals, numbers, words, music, lyrics on the radio as you were going through the radio. It could be you walk by and hear a commercial. You heard some people talking and now you're drawn into their conversation. You're just drawn to butt in. Yep. Follow that. Do you believe Jesus died for your sins? Yeah, he died for all of our sins. He was the final lamb. Prior to Jesus, the way that God had it set up is you had to atone for your sins by making offerings. So Jesus was the final offering. We were allowed to put our hands up in the air upon Jesus and put our sins upon him, and he died for them instead of us being hung for them. Back then, if he didn't, they would hang you for your sins. And that's what they do now. If you accept Jesus' message of forgiveness, then you're granted forgiveness. Not always on the outside, and that's what I'm saying. Now, something simplistic. If you go to jail, I'm seeing DMX. DMX went to jail, obviously. And they did this interview and they asked him, "Why are you here?" He said, "Really, I'm here to tell somebody that Jesus loves them." At this point, he had realized it wasn't where he was, but what he was there to do. And that's where it is why are you in a homeless shelter? It's not where I am, it's why I'm here, what I'm here to do. But you're caught up in where I am, my current circumstances, rather than what I'm doing. And it doesn't matter. Where am I doing my missionary work? Where am I doing my public service? And where am I doing my fucking purgatory? It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Russ has a beautiful fucking enormous fucking mansion in fucking Atlanta with a pool with his name in it, and he's doing his purgatory there. He's not having a better time. It just looks better where he's doing his time. We're all doing time. Doesn't matter where we're doing time. Oh, you have a pretty cell. You're still locked in hell. Doesn't matter. Realistically, yeah, and the difference between me and you is I'm getting paroled out of this bullshit. Time served, bitches. Realistically, yeah, something like that. And that's what I told them, the true story. Why am I repeating this? Honest truth, the ugly truth. Almost 10 years to the date, I had broken free from homelessness. I was breaking out of domestic violence, and so that's how I ended up in homelessness. How I ended up in a homeless shelter, and I got my first apartment. And when I did that, I became a pompous bitch. I felt all fucking, proud of myself. I became full of pride that I did this, and nobody could take this from me. And you know, if you didn't work as hard as me, then fuck you. And if I could do it, anybody could do it, and fuck everybody else. I was very rude and I became, blown up in my ego, and I rebuilt my life and I acted like I was too good for everything that I had came from. And I pretended like I didn't even come from some hard times, that I was just, a badass bitch. And ultimately, rather than God completely humbling me and making me fall on my face, I humbled myself and got put back in this place with a better understanding. And you can tell and you can see it now. I'm no better than the people. But when I stayed in shelters before, I thought I was too good for this and I should never be here. And why am I around these fucking people? I'm not like these people. I'm not these dumb bitches. I'm not like these people. I'm not these people. I'm not these people. I believed I was better than them. I couldn't even accept that I was one of them. That's how bad my mindset was back then. Now you can see I am an everyday person. I'm no better than anybody. We are all children of God. What makes us good is not what we have, but what we have to offer in the sense of kindness and, you know what I mean, nurturing and loving and all of that, despite that. You know what I mean? I have a lot of great skills that I accumulated over this life that I can contribute to this world. But my greatest skill is being able to get people healed, change their mind, get them to feel better about things, get them to change how they act towards just regular ass people. They have an effect. You have an effect. The way you treat people has an effect on those people. And you may not know it. You may have just been rude to them, but your rudeness could have been the bit that drove them to go take their life. You never know. It could have just been the straw on the camel's back. Everybody has been rude to them. And now they couldn't take your rudeness. Something like that. And that's just how you are. You didn't mean to be. You weren't extra rude to them. You're rude to everybody. I learned that with Wolfman. I ended up in a spiritual court with him. I treated him like I treat every man. You can't treat him like you treat every man. And that's where somebody comes along and teaches you a lesson. And that's where, people have learned with me. You can't treat me like you did. You treated every woman like this before me, but you can't treat me like that. And that's where you learn that you've been mistreating people for a long time. And the bus stops here. Through Wolfman, I realized how bad I was mistreating all the men prior to him. And through him, I started to learn how to, a little, to tone on it. It was a fight. And through him, I learned how to treat my men better. Now, that's not very nice. What was it about him? It was nothing about him. It was a spiritual authority given by God that I recognized I could not treat him the same way I treat others. And that's why you stand on the other side, my twin flames, and you recognize you can't treat me like that. And that's what it happens with the twin flame. You can't do the same shit, that unhealed shit you used to do on everyone else, you can't do with them. It don't feel right. You don't get the same results. It's not right. You actually feel worse. And now you become aware of your ways through this person that you were just treating like anybody else. But they weren't somebody else. They're you and another person. And when you recognize that with a twin flame, you can recognize that with everyone. They're not just some person you hate. The things you hate about them is a part of you. And don't go hating on them because you hate you. And do you hate you? No. You're just ashamed of a part and you want to shame them for that same part. It's called projection. That's what I got fucking Diana on yesterday. And I told the whole story. I was like, she's a Me Too +1. Really? Yeah, she's got a Me Too and one up you. And I told it, and that's it. It's like you wouldn't know it, but I have enough stories to show it. Why don't I like you, Diana? Because of that. You're always trying to, yeah, that happened to me too, but let me add more to it. And that's why I stopped messing with you. And I know you're still watching me, bitch. You can't not watch me. And that's what it is nobody likes an instigator that tries to be better than you. Tries to say, yeah, I did that too, but I did it better than you. And that's why I can't stand you. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. I don't know if your husband was really gay. I'm now considering that anything you said was absolute lies. And that's it. You're a pathological liar, bro. Why? Because you lie to kick it, bro. You're the definition of lie to kick it. If you tell this little lie, you can hang out and be part of the conversation. How about stop lying and people wouldn't mind not having you around? You think that the lying works, but it doesn't. You lie, you make up stories to sound cool, and they know that they're made up. And now you just look like a liar. You didn't have to make yourself look like anything, but now you made yourself look like a liar. Really? How many people you know do that shit? She's not the first. She's the last. No, I don't like this shit. Fucking me too, one up me, bitch. Really? Yeah. And that's where it is. It's like people that are people that don't like me are people that reject truth. Real recognizes real, real fast. So people that have had a real life and had to overcome some real shit, they really like me because they recognize they recognize that character of me. They're like, she's like me, right? You like me because I'm something like you. I think like you, or I get you, or I feel like you. I haven't. We just have the same feelings about shit. We don't have the same views and the same lives, but we have the same feelings. And when we get out there and we start expressing our feelings, we start realizing, despite what our skin looks like, where we grew up, how old we are, where we live, we feel the same way about some shit. We might not think the same way about it, but we feel, and that's where we can find unity. Now, that's where that shitty thing comes from, misery loves company. We came from miserable worlds. We came from a certain, not all of us, we came from a certain environment. And now when we try to leave that environment, we still attract that environment, right? So we came from a certain childhood. And when we grow up as adults, we're still attracting that childhood because we still have that. That was our comfort. So, you know, you grew up in a low vibrational family and yet you're high vibrational, but you keep attracting low vibrational people. Why? Because you haven't healed your attraction to the low vibrational. You don't want to become repulsed by it and run from it. You just want to heal it to where you're not no longer attracted by it. It's like, I used to be attracted to a specific kind of guy, but now that I've healed it, those guys are repulsive to me. But I would always fall for that kind of guy in my unhealed way. Why? Because that guy reflected what I was like, right? So as I change, I want someone that reflects who I am. So that was for my last new moon, my prayer that I put out was, I'm asking you to bring a man that aligns with the woman I'm becoming. I'm not fully her, but I don't want someone to come at the form I'm at right now, which is unhealed, unless he's going to travel with me through the healing process to become her, and he's going to become him too. Otherwise, no, keep him away from me. Because if I'm not ready for him, I'm going to sabotage this. I want a man, I want you to bring the man for that girl, not this one that's still trying to figure things out, for the one that's got it figured out. Bring me that man, and only when the time is ready, so I don't fuck this up. And that's what happens, and that's what I told B. All these men that fumbled me, they weren't ready for me. They weren't ready for me, so they fucked this up. And that's what you don't want God to do. You don't want him to bring you something good when you're not ready for it and you're just going to fuck it up. Stop praying for God to bring you that perfect lover when you're not ready for them yet. As much as I need a lot of care, I need to be able to care for a man without thinking that everything I do is being abused and used and I'm forced to do this. You know what I mean? Shit like that. I don't want to be better for him. I want to be better before he even gets here, where he doesn't need a better version. He gets the best version of me, not the old version, not the hurt version. But keep in mind, I'm never going to be fully healed. You're still going to get a hurt girl, just not in all areas. I did a lot of healing to get to this moment. Really? Yeah. That's all you can. You can't wait until you're fully healed because that'll never happen. When that happens, we're done. When you're done perfecting yourself, then you're done being here. Why are we here for tomorrow? Because tomorrow's an opportunity to be better than today. If tomorrow doesn't give us an opportunity to be better, then why would we even live for tomorrow? Some of your days you don't see as better than the past, but they are. You're getting better with time and experience. Unfortunately, some of you are re-experiencing the same shit over and over because you haven't got better with the experience. It's just taking you time to learn it because you're not seeing it, the whole experience. I went through 2 really fucked up marriages, completely repatterned, 10 years to the date. 10 years, everything almost repatterned because I didn't learn it the first time. So I had to do it again the second time. If I wasn't careful, I was going to do it again a third time. And as many times as it took for me to learn this lesson. So don't be mad at yourself because you're still in a pattern and you haven't figured out what the pattern is yet. That takes time. That's what I do over here all the time, is pattern recognition. You can't see a pattern until you've repeated it, though. You can't even see it's a pattern until you've done it more than twice. You're like, oh, okay, I've done this before. How many times? A couple. How many? Lifetimes. Okay. What else? What does your face look like? Oh God. Oh, my children are asleep behind me. I was gonna turn the. See? I look like me. I have makeup on right now. Sorry, my daughter is asleep over there. My son's on there. I don't even know why they're all close, but that's what we are. What was the other one? What are we reflecting about today? Oh, geez, you got to catch up. It's the end of the video. We were talking about a leap of faith. We're talking about the burdens, 10 of Wands, and we're talking about the Ace of Wands. So we're talking about letting go and jumping into the unknown, which is pretty much what we talk about every Friday. Really, it's repetitive. It'll be the same fucking shit, different card next week. What can you let go of, to whoever you're out there? What part of your life could you possibly sacrifice? That's the real question. The real question is, what is God asking us to sacrifice? What sacrifices is God asking us to make so that we can be free? I don't know. Each of us is different. Some of us have already made those sacrifices. Some of us already have given up the dead-end job. Some of us have already given up, people pleasing. Some of us have already given up drinking. It just depends. We're constantly giving up something, only not forever. We're giving it up to have it replaced with something better. He makes all things new, right? So he's not going to fix something. He wants it to be new for you. So that's what we're talking about. Hey, with that being said, I'm going to bed. Really? Yeah, bro. It's been a long day. And I got to do it again tomorrow. But do it better. I will. Hey, that's what I said too. I was like, thank God I didn't eat all those fucking mushrooms before we got here. Really? Well, I was like, let me see if I can feel it out. Because I always want to turn off my feelings so I don't have to feel the crowd. Really? I mean, it's bad. So, I don't know. Let me see how this feels. Let me feel this out. If it gets too bad, I'll eat the mushrooms. I'll sit in my car for 20 minutes and then I won't feel anything anymore. Really? It's just psychic feelings. I'll still feel the experience, but I won't feel your fucking thoughts. I can feel your thoughts, dude, from fucking miles away. Yeah, stop looking at me. Realistically. And you know what I'm going to get that I didn't have today? I'm going to take some sunglasses. Really? Yeah. I need to protect my eyes. I wore my hat to protect my crown. I need to protect my eyes. Why? Because the eyes are the gateway to the soul. When people look into my eyes, I'm looking into their soul. And so I just need to do that. Really? I wear my sunglasses only when there's people around. Why? Because I don't want to look you in the face. Really? Something to consider. It's something I need to do. Really? Yeah. Would you look Jesus in his eyes? Or would you put your head to the ground? Something like that. Who knows? It's like, why are you looking at me? And that's just it. It's like my eyes are the gateway into the heavens. And that's just it. And that's why they teach you to be careful of what you're putting your eyes upon. You're putting you know what I mean? You're putting images into your mind and it creates thoughts and it creates feelings. And you got to be careful of that. So that's why I was like, I'm going to put some shades on. Why? To protect myself from eye contact and having soul connections with people in that sense. And second, to put on some blinders. Why? So I don't have to see you so clearly. Really? Yeah, I'm working on it. People want to be seen, but you don't want to be seen by me. I see everything. And that's what she said. When people say that to me, I immediately turn everything off. When they're like, "Can you read me?" I turn it off right away. Because if I don't, it's going to tell me something you don't want me to know immediately. Yeah, that's the first thing it tells me. Why? Because it's your biggest fear. It feeds me your biggest fears, usually, some of them. I don't even know where it's coming from. I don't even know why I'll start a conversation that hurts you, and I don't even know where it came from. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't know this conversation was going to hurt you. But God will do it just to bring the hurt out, just so we can face it together. Why? Because I can help you face it together. You know, because you're too afraid to face it by yourself. I'm starving. I gotta go. Really? Yeah, I'm feeling it. I can't be on the. I can't do this anymore. I got it. I need to go. I gotta go. I feel it. Yeah. Have a great day and fight the towers. Fight the powers. Love yous. Laters. Bye bye.